Unfortunately, 90% of you will probably fail at making money on social media. It's not because you're lazy or you're not smart enough or that you can't do it. We're going to go over all of the reasons why that will probably happen. And I think just knowing about them should increase your chances at least by 50%. The reasons why are not complicated at all, but they're not always easy to overcome. So I'm going to go over all of the typical reasons why people usually fail and how they can avoid them. I'm not like a billionaire or anything. I don't have $100 million. I'm not Alex Hormozy here to tell you how to tactically scale your business, but I have been doing this for the past 5 years of my life every single day, and I have made millions of dollars at a young age. I feel like I could have some good insights to help the younger version of myself on the journey to where we're at now. So that's what I'm going to be yapping about today. Another video that is not supposed to keep your guys' attention, so throw me on 1.25x. I'm a little tired, but I'm going to try and give you guys a little bit of sauce here. So first off, I think people just assume that they're failing when they're not, especially in the early days. Things are not going to work. That's just not how it goes. You're going to have to fail and suck. That is just the beginning of the process. If it doesn't work for you and then you just quit right away, then that shit doesn't even practically make any sense. If things aren't working right away, that's because you're just early in the process, and this is all a part of getting better personally, so you can have a better output to then succeed. So don't feel like because things aren't working after a month or two that you're just fucked. I mean, this is like a multi-year game in some cases, depending on what you're doing. When I first started, honestly, I was so dumb. I didn't even imagine succeeding right away. Like, I didn't imagine that as an option. So quitting wasn't like an option for years and years in advance before I would decide to go back to college or go get a regular job. For you smarter people, that's a little bit harder because you analyze risk probably better than a younger version of somebody who's less intelligent. When you're young and naive, it's actually a competitive advantage, I would say, because you don't even realize how hard it can be. But smart people usually, to their detriment, I don't know how to say that word. Why do people actually fail in the first place? This is all social media specific stuff. The number one reason that first comes to mind is people copy and then they don't change a damn thing. So like, if you're gonna go and copy a method or a specific thing that somebody's teaching you how to do, and then you don't change it up at all, you're just gonna be chasing their ceiling, which is like however high they succeeded. If you're just doing the same exact thing, at most you're gonna land somewhere below them. I would try and change things, even 5 to 10%, whether you're just improving a single piece of it or just doing it differently. Don't zoink and not twist. That shit doesn't make any sense. However, I would say on the other hand of that, some people just think they're fucking Vincent van Gogh and just start doing things that nobody's ever done before instead of analyzing, what the market wants. Usually what the market wants is what other people are already doing. So you just take the winning formats from there and bring it to your own. So don't be on two polar opposites where you just straight copy or you just straight up fucking start doing art over here. That's cool as like a side hobby, but if you're trying to make money, it's usually not the best way. Some people would say that's a hot take, maybe. Oh, you should be focused on creation and not copying. I think that's bullshit, to be honest. But I think that the fastest way to creating something that's unique and that's not copying, especially in the beginning, is to copy what's working and just soak in all of those insights to then later on twist up the format and do something better. So getting distracted by other methods. Obviously, when you first start off on something, whether that's, say it's YouTube, for example, you start off making videos and it's not working and your niche is harder than you originally thought it was. And you start looking at that other guy who just randomly had a channel popping off in the fucking dolphin massage niche or whatever the fuck. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's so easy. I'm gonna go do it over there. So you quit your niche and then you go over here and then you're like, oh my gosh, this niche is a little bit harder than I thought. And then you see somebody in the fucking handstand niche and you're like, oh my gosh, the guy has this shit figured out. I'm gonna go copy his videos. And then you never ever get through the hard part. You just are permanently in the stage where shit just fucking blows, literally the worst part of the process. And then you continue to put yourself through that until you've done it a few times. And then you start to ask yourself, am I cut out for this? Am I not like the rest? Maybe they just got lucky, or whatever reason you make up in your head. You just put yourself in the hardest part and never stick with something long enough to see the results that would then feed dopamine to your brain to then double down on it and keep going. So people never get through this like beginning hell stage where you just look fear and doubt straight in the eyes and walk through it, because that shit is hard to do. I mean, there's no like fancy way to put it, but the fact that it exists should help you once you're faced with it, because it's just a mirage. It's not like a real cinder block wall. You can walk through it. You just need to fucking walk through it. I don't know if that makes any sense. Doing too many things at once. I mean, I might be the fucking king of this shit, especially in the past 2 years. I had, maybe not in the past 2 years, but before the past 2 years, I had a lot of big wins that are a result of me focusing on one thing. And in the past 2 years, I was working on something where I was doing too many things at once because I thought I was smarter, I had more money, and I ended up not going deep on any specific thing. And to truly be great at something, it's really just a subsection of 1,000 different things. One thing is 1,000 different small moving parts. And when you don't commit to one thing, you try and do three, there's no way you're going to do 3,000 moving parts at the top 1%. Think of the stupidest person in your life that you know. If they just do one thing for a long enough time horizon while you're trying different methods, that person will beat you. It's just a law of the fucking universe. Like, they're just running one race straight. You have to go here, 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 and then come back and go here, here, here. And this dude is just fucking gone. The best results come from the deepest inputs. And the only way to get good at those big inputs is by focusing on one thing. You just can't do multiple things at once, especially when you're starting. I would say, arguably, when you first start off, you will probably be better at just doing one thing because it'll just feel daunting in itself. But again, to the smart people that think that they can do multiple things at once, you're just not, you're just agreeing to be average at everything. And nobody ever got paid being average, at least at the highest level. I made that mistake for so long, so I'm very passionate about this. My tone here is like, I'm just trying to dish out shit that I would say to my younger self, so don't feel like I'm like trying to be arrogant here. I fell for pretty much every fucking one of these, okay? Letting limiting beliefs eat you alive, and letting like people in your network, especially people's opinions that you value, kind of deter you from it. Usually it's not like, so I always hear these stories of people saying, all these people were against me, and I stuck through it. Usually I don't think a lot of people are against you, but it's the people that are on your team that could be scary, because the people that are on your team that say they give you some like a negative feedback or like say something about how they're unsure if it's going to work, you take that to heart because it's not somebody going, fuck you, that's not going to work, because if that's the case, you're like, yeah, it is, motherfucker. But if it's somebody that you trust, especially that you're like, you value their opinion, those little things could totally erode your sense and belief in what you're doing. So be careful even with the people that are on your team. If they say something, usually people just yap and say things in moments that they don't know deeply or fully understand. Don't get discouraged because somebody says something like that, because you're probably more likely to like deter yourself from succeeding from your friends than your enemies. The limiting beliefs aspect of that is that if you have internet and are healthy, then you should just be fucking grateful that you can play offense. Some people are out here, not to go woo woo for a second, but some people are just like fighting for their life, and it's kind of disrespectful to not believe that you can go and do whatever the fuck you see another person doing. If you think they're smart, I promise you, they are not as smart as you think. They're just somebody who's just doing the same inputs every single day, focused on one thing, and then they succeed in it. There's really nothing that you can't fucking do besides maybe like, things that involve physical limitation. I actually have a dream of dunking on people. Like, I see John Morant dunk on people, and it pisses me the fuck off that I will never, ever in my lifetime do that. It's Morant. Oh! I don't even know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I guess there's a few things that you can't do, but most people like just assume, oh fuck, is this SD card not fucking working? The next reason why I think a lot of people fail is they just try and do it alone. This is another really dumb way to go about it in the beginning, because you just don't have the same amount of money or resources or connections or skill sets to like say beat somebody who has all three of those. So having somebody that you could work with and bounce things off of is like a way to 10x your chances of success. Not only for like when things are going hard, it's good to have somebody that you're in the trenches with, because they also understand it, and you both can acknowledge the struggle together. Don't do it alone. I would also say the more people that you can get around that are doing the same exact thing, the faster you'll learn. I'm pretty sure there's like a Mr. Beast insight somewhere that says, he was working with 5 of his friends at the start, and if one person made a mistake, it would tell the rest of the group and vice versa. So they ended up learning, say, 5 times as fast because they were avoiding certain setbacks that one of them fell into. So get around people that are doing the same thing. Don't do it alone. It's just way harder. You don't need to do it alone. I would even give up 50% of your shit to somebody in the early days, or fuck, even more if you're doing it with multiple people, just so you can will something into life. Your job right now in the beginning is to not cash out and become a multi-bajillionaire. Your job is to just get anything to work and be a part of success so you can learn from it. Owning 100% of zero is fucking ass. I'd rather own a smaller percentage of something that's succeeding. And then over time, if you really want to be solo, you can do that. But even when you're smarter, I wouldn't recommend that, because 1 plus 1 can equal 3 when you're locked in with your homie and he's, also equally as dedicated. Anyways, like, as I'm thinking about this, what are you going to do when you give up on the thing that you're working on, whether it's making YouTube videos or any sort of social media related thing? Like, what exactly are you going to go back to? Are you going to go work just a regular job? Are you going to try a new format? Like, you're just going to do the starting process forever. And that's terrible. It's kind of like going to the gym. Say you're skinny like me, or you're fat, and you first go to the gym and it sucks because you're fucking skinny or you're fat, and it's gonna hurt and it's gonna be terrible. And then you do it for, say, like a week, and it was just brutal. And then instead of getting momentum and seeing some results and feeding off the dopamine, you just go and you fucking pause for another month, and then you come back and do it for another week, and it's just terrible. And it's fucking like, you're like, oh my gosh, people come here, like, people like doing this shit. Who the fuck likes doing this shit? That's basically what you do every time you quit. It's like, I'm more scared of quitting than anything, because that's the most painful route, to be honest. Like, either way, it's going to be painful. Might as well just choose the one that's going to net you some fucking bread. You know what I'm saying? Quitting is just not really an option. It's the worst option. It's the more painful. So just, like, choose the good pain instead of the bad pain. Choose good pain and not bad pain. Another way to get through these small setbacks, or like feeling like, the shit isn't working, is to just look on a 10-year time horizon. I don't know why everybody thinks they need to fucking get it in 2 seconds. Yes, is it going to take you 10 years to get paid a lot of money? No, that's not the case. But the people that look in that long of a time horizon, their problems start to become smaller. They start to solve them more intelligently instead of like finding short-term band-aid solutions. Just solve it. Do the right solve and look at it from a longer perspective, because if you do that, it'll end up becoming faster than what you think it is. But if you're like, oh, I need to be successful in the next 3 months so I can go to Dubai and race supercars with my drop shipping brothers, like, that shit just doesn't really work out. Sometimes it does in rare cases, but even then, the people that succeed fast usually have some pre-baked skill sets that allowed them to succeed fast. So it's just rarely the case. Practical ways to push through it. Look on a long enough time horizon. Surround yourself with people that are doing the same thing so you can acknowledge the same setbacks everybody's going through, learn from them way faster, and not feel like you're alone in the fucking trenches, and get through it with your friends. I think the biggest reason why people don't leave their shitty jobs is because, or there's some sort of stat that says the thing that keeps people at their jobs the longest or the most is their friends there. It's the social aspect of it. So get around people that are doing the thing that you want to do and become social, and you'll want to stay there more. I mean, people go and fucking slave away their lives in jobs that they don't hate. Literally scientifically proven the social aspect in their friends. Of course, there's multiple other factors, but the point is, it's probably one of the most OP ways. Next is actually iterating on your failures. If shit's not working and you're doing the same input over and over again and not looking at what didn't work the first time and trying to improve it by even just a little bit, then you're like, I don't even know. Like, if you're treating it like a to-do list every single day, where today I have to do this, and you just try and speed through it without going deep and trying to make it better, it's just not going to work. You don't get rewarded for just like checking it off the list and, okay, I'm done, I did my work for the day. Like, you have to actually go and improve on the input and make it better, or else, what's the Theo Vaughn quote? Nothing's going to change if nothing changes. A wise man once said that. So actually iterate on what you're doing. And again, going back to the other thing, it's a lot easier to iterate on what you're doing faster when you're around other people doing the same thing, because you all share insights and shit like that. And then just be patient, and however long you think it should take, times that by 2, plus iterate the entire time. And I promise you, like, you will see tangible results to either keep moving forward, or if for whatever reason you've been doing this for a long time and it's not working, then there is times to pivot. But most people just quit too early. I think the downside of doing something for too long is not as bad as the downside of quitting too early. So just act like you're gonna do this shit fucking forever and stick with it. But that is a hard part, is like, when do you actually decide to quit or pivot? I think do it for longer than you think until it's painful, and then assess the vehicle itself. The vehicle that you're using to make money, be it a certain niche or a channel or whatever your social media method is at that time. Think, is there any other people succeeding in this? What does the number one person succeeding in this make? And how much effort are they putting in? And how would you compare your inputs to their inputs? And when I say inputs, I just mean the work that you're doing and the quality of the work you're doing. Like, have you been doing a good enough job for a long enough time horizon? And are the top 1% people in your space succeeding, is that even something you want to strive for anymore? And if not, and you've been working at it for a long time, not just like bullshitting and just saying check, check, check. And I'm not saying, oh, I've been doing it for even 6 months, like a long time, then I would maybe assess it and look at other vehicles. But even then, that's risky. Like I would stick with it for longer than you think, and assume you're the problem, and good things will happen when that comes. Or you'll just develop insanely good skill sets to then easily capitalize on something that's, you know, related to what you're doing. So worst case, you just get better. If you start your snowball early, you are pretty much just guaranteed to win. It's almost boring in certain aspects if you think about it, because you know how this movie ends. Like if you truly are trying, you cannot lose. Like sure, there's short-term setbacks, and sure, it's gonna be way harder than you think, and like shit's gonna hit the wall. But if you're fucking healthy and breathing and just continuing to show up every single day, you just win. I've never even heard of a story of somebody who continues to fight every single day of their life, besides again health reasons and crazy shit, that doesn't succeed, especially in today's world for a young person who has internet access. Like you can go way further than whoever you look up to as far as making money. You can go further than them. The world is designed for you to go further than them because the tools are better. There's new information. It's just getting easier and easier and easier. I guess I'm just yapping a little bit, but the point is that you've already won. If you're trying at a young age and you are committed to doing it for a long time, you've already won. Just don't fumble your snowball. Just keep pushing it. The only way to fucking fail is to stop pushing it and stop. Every single person who has ever succeeded in social media, again, whatever the fuck the method is that you're working on, has felt the same setbacks and emotions that you have. You are not unique. You're not like going through new problems that nobody has ever faced. Again, if your personal life is different and fucking crazy shit's happening, that's one thing, you know, that's fucked up. But as far as like specific social media things, everybody got through this hard part. Everybody deals with the same setbacks, whether it's fucking view jail or like, you know, creators not wanting to work with you, or you're just like, you know, struggling to get started and you can't find other people that are like you. Practical ways that you can find people that are doing the things that you're doing is join Discords and go on Twitter and just literally search whatever you're doing. Let's just take YouTube Shorts, for example. There's so many people and communities of people that are working on YouTube Shorts right now. Go join those Discords. We have a Discord. We have a tight little community of people that join call every day. They screen share, they edit together. Like, go join Discords where people are doing the same thing, because you'll find people that are exactly like you. So that's a great way to find people, is Discord. Just contribute to the community or to the general chat, meet people, yada, yada, yada. You can also find them on Twitter. I would also say some of these experienced people that are just like one step ahead of you, they love to yap, because most of the people in their personal life don't actually understand what they do. So when they talk to somebody who's genuinely interested in, they'll just fucking yap away and give you all the insights in the world. So you can find those people in Discord and Twitter. Also, underrated method, go work for a company or a person who is succeeding in it. Work for free. Sometimes working for free is not enough, because they're like, fuck, this is gonna be a hassle to train this guy. But like, if you're moving in the right direction already as far as trying things, just go work somewhere and juice it for as many connections as you possibly can, and you'll get in closer proximity of people who are succeeding and who are also like you. So if you guys want some extra sauce just from me and Luke, we put together that newsletter where on whatever cadence makes sense, we're just giving some insights or whatever sauce is going on in social media and the platforms, the programs. It's very YouTube focused right now, but if you want to stay up to date with everything YouTube related, or maybe get some other insights on how to actually succeed in this shit, we just do this every day of our lives. And I sit here at this fucking chair rotting away, and Luke and I want to help you guys. We have no plan figured out for a high ticket ultra course turbo pay us thing yet, but you know, maybe in the future we'll drop a coin or some shit. It'll be in the top link in the description. Put your email in there, and then just look out for some insights and some sauce, and it's cool. Also join the Discord, and yeah, we're in there too. So if you have questions, you can put in the comments or hit me in Discord. Truly can't afford to respond to every single person that comments in this video. If you have any questions or problems or setbacks, I can try my best to give you whatever practical insight to get over it. And yeah. Brand deals have been tough. The market's crashed pretty much completely. Crypto, I probably lost so much money. So it's definitely at a low point right now. Feeling great. All right, well,
Dean, I'll see you in the future. Hopefully that view isn't getting, I know you're scared of heights, so like a good view like that's probably very worrisome for you right now, but Dean, I'll see you in the future. Look back to me now. I'm sure you're looking back at this version of me and be like, wow, I was a dumbass. I didn't know anything, because that's what I look back at Dean from the past, aka, 3 months ago from now. And I look at him, I'm like, wow, I learned a ton. So Dean from the past is proud of Dean in the future. I know it. So